Well, I want to welcome you to Wisdom of a Lifetime. And today's episode is going to be really amazing. We're going to talk about vibration and how reality really operates from the vibration of who you really are inside. So before we go there, go to wisdomofaLifetime.com and subscribe to any of my social media channels or onto my website. And I think you're going to find this episode to be very fascinating. So let's just start. So really at the end of the day, we talked about many things about quantum physics and how superposition and there's different realities from superposition, including the collapse of the wave and also the ability of just the many world interpretations where it just continues to splits off into many, many universes. But really today we're going to talk about something a little bit different in that all of that comes together with the essence. I talked about the brain heart coherence. So what does that mean? And really, at the end of the day, your vibration, our vibration, is what aligns us to the reality. So let's me dig in much, much more deeper in this subject. So let's talk about first what coherence is. So think about a laser beam. A laser beam means the photons are highly coherent. They're highly packed in a way to create a beam. And as you have more power, it can cut through steel or anything you want, really. All of you get enough power and you get enough coherence of those photons with that beam. But if you just have light, it's highly incoherent. So it's just photons all over the place, just spreading its way any way it's want. So really what I'm trying to say is that getting coherence off your reality means you have to have this vibration that is throughout. I'll give you some examples of what I mean. That vibration has to be right throughout your whole being, your essence, from your mindset to your thoughts, your actions, but your feelings, your soul has to be all in alignment and congruent to that. So, how do we get there? And that is really the interesting question. So, we talked about in past episodes about the subconscious, how to reach the subconscious, and the different waves of the beta, alpha, theta, delta. And then we also talked about when you go to sleep, when you wake up, great time to reprogram your subconscious. We talked about also how to create intentions and so on. So we talked about many things. All of this is leading to the idea of getting this vibrational energy that is highly coherent to what you want in your life. So and I'll give you some examples about my own life about this coherence and this vibrational energy. So life in the universe, for some reason, in the quantum information field, will deliver exactly who you are today in your reality of what your vibration level is. So we've heard this many times. Oh, create the vibration. So what does it mean, though? It's a very fascinating topic. So I'll give you some examples, and we'll go in more deeper in this. For example, when I'm in my technology field and I'm a thought leader and I speak all over the world and I'm global in nature, and I don't really ever stress. I don't ever think about it. I walk on stage, not even showing what I'm going to say sometimes. I have a presentation I might do in rough form, pick some slides up from other templates, and I just speak on that because I have high coherence inside my system, in my being, my essence, that I am going to do amazing. And I never ever fret or get scared or worried or fear or anything like that because I just know inside of myself everything is going to be amazing. It also happens the same way when I do technology and I work on technology and pioneer technologies in my field. I work with lots of teams, and then my role is to really bring that technology to life through adoption. And I have to get out in the world and sell that to many, many companies and providers as well to adopt this technology. And I never ever fret about will it be adopted or not. I just know it will. And I never ever think anything different. I just have this deep coherence, this vibrational level that everything is going to be amazing. It might not come at the time and the speeds I want, but it will show up. And it always does because I have that in my essence, my vibrational being. Now let's take the opposite. You see behind me all this musical gear. Well, I would say I'm a pretty good guitar player. I've been playing for a very long time, but it's not something that comes natural to me. And more than likely because somewhere in my subconscious when I was younger, I programmed or I got some point of view that said, you're not good, or somehow I said I'm not good enough, or So somehow I always doubted myself growing up and playing guitar, not feeling I was good enough to be a great guitar player. And so that subconscious feeling of not being good enough is always with me, even when I'm playing on stage, live. It takes a tremendous amount of effort for me to play decent to my skill level versus if I'm in my studio, I can play amazing because I don't have that pressure. And but when I'm live, it's a whole different story, and it's a lot of pressure, and I fear and I doubt myself, and I second guess myself, and I put words in my head, and all that stuff you get in your head is where all of this thing breaks down. So there's an example of the other extreme where you think, after playing for decades, 40 plus years of playing guitar, I would have this nailed and can play flawlessly, but it just doesn't happen that way because I don't feel it, that I just have that confidence level. So so now let's get into how do you really build that vibrational level that's consistent. So there are many ways. The most important thing is you start with your goal and you say, okay, I want to get into a confidence level of that goal. The first thing, for example, my guitaring, if I want to play really good for that venue that night, I got to start practicing weeks before, playing every night, getting my chops up, get my timing up, get my syncopation, knowing the songs, getting the feeling. I do exercise on my phone for checking my rhythm and my timing. And so I really prepare myself so that I'm getting to the point where I'm feeling highly confident going into the gig, that I've really prepared well. So that helps a lot to take down a lot of that stress and a lot of that anxiety level. Where, for example, in going into my work and speaking, I don't have to do any of that. It just comes natural. I just read when I want. I just get things. It shows up. I get the aha moments in my mind. And then bang, it just works flawlessly. And I just get up on stage. I just talk, or I talk to people I'm talking to, a presentation or crowd, or even just trying to sell the adoption of technology to a bunch of people. I just become fluid and flow in the now moment. I don't think, I don't fear, I don't judge. It's amazing the difference of being in a vibrational match versus not being in a vibrational match to the outcome you want. So let's talk again about what we need to do. We need to get up, we have to have our intent, what we want. We got to set that intent every morning, every night. We wake up, you have that intent like it's already happened, that feeling nature. At night, you have that feeling nature as you go to bed. Same thing. During the day, I meditate and do intentions for an hour and a half a day, and I make sure I don't miss that in any given day. For me, it's not like brushing my teeth or taking a shower. I need to basically have my intentions every day for an hour and a half. So I find time to get that in for whatever reason. And the third thing I do is my watch, my Apple Watch here, tells me to stand up or pay attention or whatever. What I do there when that does that is I bring that intention to my awareness, and I feel like it's already happened. Even my eyes are not closed. Even I could be in a bus or a car, obviously not driving or anything. I just feel like it's already happened. Even my eyes are open. I just feel like it's already happened. And I'm like, yes. And that's it. And so I do that. So that's a constant reprogramming of my subconscious. Additionally, if I want something, let's say I want a new car or I want $1 million, then I need to do the diligence and the action. We talked about action in previous episodes, to go and make the action, do the actions, all the steps that tells the universe that you're congruent, that your actions are matching your words and your thoughts. And so you go out and you do, we talked about like lifting rocks. I think about lifting rocks, finding a little gem and then following that over to the next clue. And that's kind of what happens. You just do the action, whether it is like you want $1 million or $1 billion or whatever it is. And you basically have to now research, investments, or if you're going to start a business, and you invest your time into little pieces of nuggets of all the things you need to know about either starting a business or investing your money, whatever it is to make your $1 million. Or if you're going to buy a car or a house, whatever, you do the action. If you don't do the action and all you do is set vibration and intentions, you're going to miss truly the opportunity and the alignment and the congruency that basically tells the universe that I'm doing the work, I'm thinking right, I'm acting right, I'm doing everything right. So now it's up to you, the information field, the universe, whatever you want to call it, to really make the rest happen. And that's what happens. It just happens after that on its own. And if you go chase it and push it and worry about it and stress on it, it's going to run the other way. You have to really now relax, let it just happen. And I talked about in my speaking, when I speak, I just let it happen. I'm in the flow, I'm in the now moment. I don't think in my head. I just let it come out like I'm doing right now in this episode. I'm just flowing, which was coming in my mind. I don't have anything scripted or nothing. So that's really the essence of what you want to do is you got to start reprogramming your subconscious if you really want to get to the vibrational match of your goal. So the vibrational match, the energy put out, that congruency, that ability to basically align your thoughts, your actions, your words, all in one single laser focus, like the laser beam example I gave you, is what you want to put out to the field and let the field then do the rest. So with that, I hope I gave a lot of great information, and I look forward to the next episode. Thank you for attending.